Yo, yo. What up, Guitkit crew? So now we're up to like the expert builder level, man. You know what I mean? We've surpassed. You know what I mean? Now, I want to tell you a story because I always want to tell a story. I'm a storytelling guy. What can I say? Always have a tale to tell. This particular story starts when I was about 13 years old. Now I'd been going to like an Italian barber since, you know what I mean? I was born, really. And they just kept like dying or retiring, And by the time I was 13, I was like on number three. I had this guy named Sal, you know what I mean? And I go in there, you know what I mean? He had two chairs in there, you know what I mean? Well, one was covered in newspapers, he was like 1,000 years old, right here in town. And, he would cut hair and there'd be like four or five other real old people waiting. And I mean, when I first started going to him, it took like a half hour. You start getting older, 45 minutes, and it take an hour to cut your hair. And there was like two, three people in front of you. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It was like a 4 or 5 hour deal, just getting your hair cut. You know what I'm saying? And Sal was, he was getting up there. And a lot of people sort of that hung out at the barbershop were real old and they kind of liked his company. So it was like no rush. They talk about politics, they talk about cannolis, whatever they talk about, man. You know what I mean? Cut hair real good, you know what I'm saying? So, I came in there one day, I was about 13. This is when I first was able to sort of like go out on my own, you know what I mean? I rode my bike over to this place, sort of like a young big man, you know what I mean? Just around the block, So I went there, you know what I'm saying? And there was some like guy who looked like a butcher, a young guy, you know what I mean? Like, beefy looking motherfucker, you know what I mean? Standing there, you know what I mean? Like smoking a cigarette. This is back when, the days when you smoke cigarettes anywhere, you know what I mean? And there was like 4 or 5 people there, you know what I mean? There was a guy in the chair, but I seen the other chair was uncovered and the light was on by the mirror, by the other chair and everything. I was like, oh, what's going on here? Who's this guy? What's going on? But nobody was sitting in the chair. The dude was just smoking a cigarette there, you know what I mean? So I was like, hey, you want to, this is my friend George, you want to, get, a haircut by him? And everybody's like, oh, we're all waiting, for Sal, you know what I mean? Didn't trust this new guy. I was like, you know what I mean? I'll step right in that chair, you know what I mean? So I sat down, the dude cut my hair in like 10 minutes. Maybe 7 minutes. You know what I mean? Expert quick haircut. He didn't talk to me about nothing, you know what I mean? Yeah. Basically, that's what was up, you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, that's what. So George's my boy, you know what I mean? Turns out he's like a Russian dude, you know what I mean? And like the second time I went back there, Sal was gone, man. It was just George, you know what I mean? George has a nice chair now, the pile of stuff was all back in the chair again. It was just George, and there was nobody waiting, you know what I mean? It's like Sal retired. He go to Florida, So I got to know him a little bit. This guy's name was George. He told me he was a former Russian cosmonaut, and he was just unhappy, with, the way he was treated. He said he came to this country in like the mid '80s. I kind of think he was a spy. He said he worked at the base, kind of army base, middle of the Cold War, is gonna hire a Russian cosmonaut. He was a spy, you know what I mean? Anyway, real character, and he was always like important stuff with his partners from Russia. You know what I mean? This is toward the end of, the end of the Soviet Union. It started collapsing. You know what I mean? And he was like, I got a partner in some kind of soda distributor company. Some kind of like cantaloupe flavored soda, man. And he kept like trying to hawk the soda on me. You know what I mean? $2, $3, whole case for $10. And I was like, I don't really like cantaloupe flavors. It's kind of like Orangina tastes like, but it tastes like cantaloupe. It wasn't my thing, man. So, like, after I stopped turning him down about the sodas, man, he's like, so what do you like? You know what I mean? And I was like, well, I started playing guitar at the time. I told him, hey, playing guitar, got an acoustic guitar, I like maybe an electric guitar. And his eyes, like, lit up. You know what I mean? Oh, really? I'll show you something after I cut your hair. He's like, sorry, he talks like Tranquilo Genie. I haven't perfected my Russian yet. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he cut my hair. And he opens this little closet in the back. You know what I mean? And he had like all kinds of weird looking guitars, like electric guitars, like all set up, like strange shaped guitars. Shaped on like weird shit, like shaped like traditional guitars at all, man. They're shaped just like weird fucked up guitars, man. You know what I mean? One of them was shaped like the state of Ohio or something, man. I came to find out that was called a Tanika. And he had this like weird amp, you know what I mean, plugged in there. And it had like a weird plug in the guitars. It wasn't like a regular, like, you know, 1/4-inch jack. It was something strange, like looking, you know, MIDI kind of jack, you know what I mean? He's like, I built this amplifier myself, you know what I mean? And he plugged into it, and this guy jammed out like he was like Segovia meets Eddie Van Halen. He was the greatest guitar player I've ever seen, man. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, you know what I mean? He's like, pick up a guitar, my friend. Pick up. And I found this guitar. It looked kind of like a Rickenbacker with like a, you know, like a Rickenbacker bass. You know what I mean? With like a machine gun looking headstock. You know what I mean? Like a weird brownish fire glow kind of thing. And 3 pickups. It was the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen. It's a huge guitar. In my little hands, a 13-year-old. Yeah, like kind of like, you know, in a non kind of, you know, weirdo way. Like, you know what I mean? You know, hung out with me for the next 20 minutes, you know what I mean? I was like, this guy's cool as hell, you know? Teach me a little bit about the guitar, you know what I mean? I was like, this guy, yeah, a cosmonaut spy, you know what I mean, who plays guitar. This is so cool, you know what I mean? And so he's like, would you like to buy one of these guitars, my friend? I was like, yeah, I had a little job working in this hotel, you know what I mean, on the weekends, you know, front desk by this point, you know? I was like, yeah, it was, you know, I cut you a big deal, my friend. All right, my man, you know, I was about 13 and a half, 14, you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, lay it on me, my man, lay it on me, you know? So he's like, which guitar are your favorite? And I was like, oh, this one right here, man. Oh, this beautiful looking Rickenbacker strange Russian guitar. I thought he's, you know, cut me a break, you know what I mean? He's like, yes, I make you a special deal. I even put new jack in there so you're using your regular amp. I was like, yes. Tell me, man, how much? He said, for you, since you my friend, $2,000. Like, what? The fuck? $2,000? What the fuck are you talking about, man? $2,000? So I didn't get the guitar, man. I didn't even get the Orangina soda, man. In a couple weeks, I went back there. He was gone. Place was closed. You know, Russia was gone. So he's probably, you know, Putin had the you know what I mean? He's like, you don't have to kill these people anymore because Russia is done. You know, the Soviet Union done. You know? So he probably went back there. And we know nobody knows what happened to him and those weird guitars. Now, the guitar that I liked, I come to find out was a Ural 650, man. And recently, I kind of like went on, not recently, it was about a year ago. I went on eBay and I tried to, like, you know, get one. And he had this guy was in the Ukraine. He also had the one that this dude was playing, the Tanika one, shaped like Ohio, weird shape. I wanted them both, you know what I mean? He was selling like $100, you know, $25, $150 a piece, or something like that, and like $100 shipping, something crazy. So it'll come out to like a lot of money. I was like, just take them apart, put them in a box, and send them to me as is, right? You know what I'm saying? I'll put them back together, and I'll give you $300 for both guitars. He wouldn't do it. He wanted $400. You know, blah blah blah. You know. So, you know, I mean, I kind of like lost patience with haggling with the guy. I found one stateside for $100, just a Ural. It was in terrible condition. There it is, man. There's this weird, freaky guitar, man. What the frickle jackal? Nyet. Let's put it down on the slab and take a good look at it, shall we? So the person I bought it from, off of eBay, you know what I mean, stateside, pretty much thought it'd be a cool project guitar and then realized it was a lot, you know what I mean, more complicated of a job than he thought. So, you know, he gave up after sitting in the closet for a little while. And I got my hands on it, man. So, it's missing a lot of parts, a lot of improvised stuff. Originally had like a weird Russian tunematic bridge, kind of like ABR meets a Jazzmaster bridge here. He's just taking a piece of, like, you know what I mean, pipe and using it as the bridge. Here's the, you know, it was like some kind of tremolo. These knobs are like plastic. You see the tops are falling off. This is like a aluminum machine top. A little piece of like sparkle glass in there, man. That's really out of sight, man. And yeah, it's got these like big honky looking pickups. Looks like the paint, the back of the pick guard's starting to flake off back there. It's not like opaque anymore. You can see into the cavity pretty clearly. The frets are all fucked up. One of them's missing. And they're all like real proud. You know what I mean? Binding's missing from right here. The neck's a little bit, you know what I mean? Looks like they're trying to take off the pick guard, and these screws are all seized. There's like 5 screws left out of a 10 screw pick guard and couldn't get it off, so guess we don't even know if the electronics work. It's got that weird MIDI, you know what I mean, out. But this was sort of like they could do stereo, and they could do like, you know what I mean, phantom power for certain things. Pretty much the MIDI jack, really. See, the rosewood is just, you know, never seen any oil. You know, it's been played voraciously. You know, it's been stripped. I'll show you some pictures of my little research mode in a second. Still got this, which is cool. A lot of these are missing. This is like, so the neck is kind of like loosey. So this is an early one from like probably around 1972, 73, something like that. Something like that, man. Might even be from 75. That might mean it's from 75 there. So there it is, man. You can see how it's got this weird sort of Rickenbacker thing. That's actually copied off of Yamaha, who copied off of Rickenbacker, and I'll show you all that in a hot minute. Now, it came with some parts, you know what I mean? I guess that came from its original owner. These are like back of the tuners. You've seen these, I'm sure, if you're, you know, similar ones come out of, you know what I mean, Asia. You know what I mean? These are real heavy, though. This isn't like just stamped garbage. This is like cast. You know what I mean? Cast, you know what I mean, metal. This is the trim cover, which is cool that that's there. So all we really need is the spring. We've got the trim handle, the little plastic thing, and I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. It goes in here. It's kind of like a Jazz Master thing. This is just got like a clip that sort of like clips in there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know of too many famous Russian guitar players that I could like say, like, you know what I mean. They're very great with the whammy bar. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Might be a bunch of them. Missing one of these buttons. You know what I mean? All kinds of weird stuff. I can't even tell you what any of these buttons do, because, you know what I mean? It's missing the strap buttons. So I've ordered a whole bunch of parts. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not going to get, like, you know what I mean, the Russian parts, because that's going to cost a fortune. You know what I mean? So I just ordered parts that sort of like, you know what I mean, that will do the trick. So let's try to get these screws out of here, man. You know what I mean? I don't know, you know what I mean, how lucky I'm going to be, but I like to get this thing unassembled. That's seems to be, you know what I mean, where the last guy left off. So I'll see when we're disassembled. Please disassemble. Please disassemble me. Please disassemble me. Talk about Brezhnev, man. The second half of the Brezhnev era, that's when the electric guitar came to the USSR, man. And it's kind of ironic, right, that the guitar used to record the bass line of back in the USSR actually inspired one of the major guitars produced in the USSR, starting shortly after its recording. So let's talk a little bit about this science, people. This Rickenbacker 4001S, one of the most famous basses of all time, that cresting wave body, man. You know what I'm saying? Iconic, right? Now, Yamaha in Japan, you know what I mean? They copied this shit. That cresting wave body. But they didn't want to get sued by Rickenbacker, because Rickenbacker sues everybody. They sued themselves if they could, right? So they basically did it as, you know what I mean, discreetly as possible. You know what I'm saying? So they flipped around the horn on this side. See that machine headstock? The machine gun headstock, man? Pretty cool, man. So essentially these guitars were called the SG. Very, 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 very clever Yamaha. You guys are just too original, man. Too original, Yamaha. Has Yamaha really come up with something totally original ever? I don't know, man. Leave that in the comments below if they have. Anyway, man, I don't think they have. This guitar is extremely sought after today. The SG solid body guitar. You know what I mean? It was a big thing. It's rare. You know what I mean? It's a very well built guitar. One of the best Japanese guitars of the late 60s. Kind of original, kind of crazy looking. You know what I mean? A secret ripoff. But Brezhnev's people, man, since Japan was a lot closer, you know what I mean, to Russia, they got their hands on it. And that inspired our Ural 650. See that, man? Very similar, right? You know what I'm saying? This is basically flipped around. You know what I'm saying? It's like the mirror image. Look at the whammy bar. Look at that whammy bar. Let me zoom in, man. I want you to see this, man. I want you to see the proof that I have amassed. Look at that whammy bar, man. See that shit? Right? And look at the trim even. See, look at that trim. You know what I'm saying? Look at this, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just two too close for comfort, man. You know what I'm saying? Crazy stuff. So there it is, man. This is our thing. Now, the earlier ones are more of a yellowish, and they get a little bit darker as time goes on. You know what I'm saying? So, essentially, these guitars have a lot of weird sort of, you know what I mean, little things that you can't just buy off eBay real cheap. You know what I mean? Maybe on eBay Ukraine, but they're not easy to come by stateside. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about, essentially, this bridge piece, man. It's like a Tune-o-matic meets like a Jazzmaster bridge. You know what I'm saying? Now, the early ones, this is from like the late 60s, probably early 70s. See if you can see that, man. Hey, Barbara G, I can't see, man. Speak up. See how it's got like a weird or sort of like, you know what I mean? The saddles are more primordial. You know what I'm saying? They're like real basic. You know what I'm saying? The early days. You know, but as the times went on, man, it took on like more of like a roller saddle thing. Now they make, you know, ABR style bridges with that, you know what I mean, roller saddle. But I've seen a lot of them throw on these guitars, and I've seen a lot of Tune-o-matics just thrown on these guitars. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's not really too original, man. It's kind of like a cop out. You know what I mean? Cop out is what I'm saying, man. See those sparkle little, you know what I mean? Things I have one of those buttons. So I'm going to have to improvise on a bunch of these missing pieces. I'm thinking for this, I think I'm going to use like a Jazzmaster bridge with thumb wheels, man. So I can raise them up 2 ways. Right? So like, you know what I mean? Kind of looks like a Jazzmaster bridge in a way. It's got the roller saddles already. A little bit closer to this, you know what I mean, incarnation. You know what I mean? But I think that'd be cool. So that's one of my little ideas. Now, the second idea is got to do with the tuners, man. These Ural 650s had like the strangest fucking tuners in the world, man. They're like straight up pyramids, man. My man Phil Patillo would have loved this shit if he'd seen that, man. Woo woo! Pyramid tuning keys, man. But they're incredibly hard to come by. And see this? It's got this weird sort of, you know what I mean, wings, sort of, you know, string retainer. I'm going to have to improvise on both of these items, folks. This is what the back of the tuning keys look like. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of people just throw on them, you know, Asian ones with these covered things, you know what I mean? Like, it's cold today, folks. Not Bobby G. So we're going to do a lot of improvising here, folks. You know what I mean? All the parts we don't have. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting real Ural parts on here because, you know, they just don't really exist, man. And if they do exist, they cost too much money for me to fuck with. You know what I'm saying, man? I'm not going to, you know what I mean, break the bank over my man Brezhnev. You know what I'm saying? Those Ukraine girls really knocked me out, man. They leave the West behind. Dove, dove, dove. We got the guitar part. Let's get to work here. This guitar was like murder trying to disassemble, man. Those screws were seized like horrible. I had to extract them. Luckily, I didn't ruin the pickguard, and I was able to get that, you know what I mean, little neck plate off too, man. A little tiny aluminum Russian neck plate without destroying it. So the screws were just not moving, man. You know what I'm saying? All the screws the guy took out, you know what I'm saying, I didn't get them. You know what I mean? I just got the screws he couldn't, you know what I mean, take out. But I got the guitar, man, so I'll be happy, man. Look at this big rust pile, man. Those are the parts I've taken on, man. I want to tell you, my Soviet comrades, you add a little chromium to that iron, get some stainless steel, bro. Seriously, man. That wasn't a Cold War secret. I had to cut this thing. I don't know how the hell they got it in there. It was screwed in on both sides. No idea. Felt bad cutting it. But, you know, I'll never use it again. I'll make a necklace out of it. This guitar looks like my man Putin had the shit on the submarine when he first joined the KGB, man. He opened the fucking window of the submarine and the shit floated out, man. And it floated all the way to New York City, man. Somebody picked it up in the street and lived in a cardboard box with it for 10 years. And then I got a hold of it. You know what I mean? It's a horrible condition. This doesn't even look like it's real rosewood either. It looks like it was just like regular maple that's been like, you know what I mean, stained. Body's made out of beech. Neck looks like it's made out of some maple. These electronics are a trip too, man. You know what I mean? Like a real, you know what I mean? Figured it out though. You know what I mean? It's basically just a hot and 2 grounds. You know what I mean? We'll get rid of this guy and put a regular American Jack in there. Getting readings of on the multimeter about a 13, 14 on these two. I can't get a reading out of this guy, although the pickup's in like in a weird way. So I don't know if it's dead or it's just, you know what I mean, something I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it is dead. Yeah, I was never a big, you know what I'm saying, bridge pickup guy. I'm more of a neck pickup guy. Maybe I'll swap out the middle pickup. I don't really know, you know what I mean? It might not even be dead. I'm going to get these electronics off this guard first thing I'm going to do, I think, before I do anything else. And just start working on the, working on that, because that looks like it's going to be the biggest headache. So, you know what I mean? I like those projects, peeps. So I'll see you, you know what I mean, when we're in progress. Beast. Alright, so I got these electronics off the pick guard. That bridge pickup taken apart. I gotta work it again. These little like tiny magnets inside of it. Don't mind my dirty hands. This is the dirtiest guitar I've ever worked on, man. The homeless man that had it in his box in New York used to take a crap on it every day too. It was all fucked up. So these little tiny magnets like stuck in this little cavity here. It's pretty cool, man. See, they're all sort of like in like a barrel formation in there. Cool beans, cool beans. So let's work on this pick guard now that we got the electronics understood for the most part. Now you see that it's lost. It's lost its, you know what I mean? It's kind of lost its like, you know what I mean? Opaqueness in the middle. So I'm just going to spray paint on the back of it, just gold, man. You can get other kind of spray paints, you know what I mean? But I'm just going to put some gold on there, man. So I'll see you when that's done, focals. Peace. So we got the pick guard painted on the back. Got it set under some heavy encyclopedias. We'll leave it there for about a month until all these parts come in. I know these parts are going to take forever, man, because the pandemic mail system is like, you know what I mean? Pony Express. Look at these frets, though, man. You know what I mean? Look at that, man. Look how high some of them are, man. How the hell that happened, really? Well, Putin was drinking some, you know what I mean, some Stoli or something in the submarine, man. He was so fucked up, he started smacking his guitar around, you know, trying to impress all the other guys, all the other spies and shit. Look what I can do! Look, Oleg, look, Yuri! Smacking the shit and all vibrated out. That's probably how he broke the window in the submarine, man. Anyway, got some little tap hammers. Tack hammers, I don't know, you know what I mean? I call them tap hammers, man, because I tap with them. I'm going to tap these guys down. You know what I mean? All the high ones, and I'll come right back at you. I'm mostly down. Looks good. You know what I mean? Pretty good anyway. Ran a little bit of bead of super glue down the sides of these and a little bit on some of them. So what we're going to want to do now is put in this fret, man. It's the missing fret. So we're going to, you know what I mean, file down the end of it. So it's, you know, it matches exactly. And put her in there. You know what I mean? Get it all smooth. So I'll see you on the flip of that switch. Got the fret in there. Let's level these frets now, man. I mean, they're all over the place. You know what I mean? So they're up and down, high and low. Let's level them out. I'll see what we're doing with that. The fret's all leveled. Now we're going to take a piece of 000 steel wool and just sort of clean the shit out of this fretboard. You know what I mean? So let's get that guy clean. Spruce it up, man. See you in a minute. Alright, so I got it all cleaned up. You know what I mean? As I said earlier, I think this was just stain to begin with. I don't think it was rosewood. I think it was in maple. But I'm going to add a little bit more stain on it because I pretty much, you know what I mean, almost sanded through the whole lot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to hit that stain on there, and I'll see you on the flip switch. Now that is what I'm talking about, people. Beautiful. Let it set in there for a nice 10-15 minutes. Just wiped it off. Oh, looks great. So we're going to let it dry according to the instructions. Just be happy with the way it looks, man. Good news finally, man. And all thanks to you, Colonial Dude. All thanks to you, my man. Keep keeping the peace, brother. Peace. Alright, comrade. Now you must fix the neck binding. So now we have two options here. We can either pull this whole piece of binding off and fix the whole side. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Or we can just fix this little piece. Now you know Bobby G's a shortcut motherfucker. So we're just going to fix the little piece, man. Got some neck binding. Neck binding is same in Russia than same here. With binding, you're always going to want to glue it. You know what I mean? Curve side going toward the instrument. You want to try to glue it, you know what I mean, like this. You're just a fool, you know what I mean? So we're going to try to cut it at the exact angle that it's here. Match it up. You know, it's going to be a little wider, but we'll yellow it up. You know what I mean? We know our coloring, man. Bobby G's a yeller guy, man. He can yeller anything, man. So we're gonna cut this piece out real carefully, and it's got to go all the way to the end here. See how the wraps, you know what I mean, on all the way to the end piece. So from here to here, and we'll get that cut, and I'll show you when it's glued on. Peeps, peace. All right, people and peepettes. Look at that, man. Looks good. Looks good. Good and sturdy. I generally use super glue. I don't know what the real luthiers use. You know what I mean? But with super glue, you gotta have a steady hand. Because if you put it on there wrong, there's no way you're getting it off. No way in hell. So, you know what I'm saying? Take your medication before you put that on. So, it's pretty much dry now. I'm gonna pull these rubber bands off and sand it. You're gonna want to do hand sanding on this very lightly. Don't use no Dremel or nothing like that. Don't be a hero, Billy. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna fuck up the whole process. So let's get this guy sanded to at least, you know what I mean, Ray Charles test with the original. So it feels good, baby. See you in a minute. Vladimir, don't be hero, don't be fool. Very good, Putin. I wrote that myself. Don't tell anybody I didn't, or I'll shoot you in the fucking head. Looks great, man. Looks great, man. So now we're going to mix up a little bit of Bondo and just fill in this crack here. We'll tape it off a little bit because we lost about like 1 millimeter worth of paint here. You know what I'm saying, man? So let's just get that filled in. See on the flip. Bondoed up. I'm going to sand it off. Always when you're using Bondo and sanding, man, wear a mask. You know what I mean? Treat it like the Corona. You want to breathe that shit. It's made out of fiberglass. So I'll come right back at you when we're all smooth. And now I got you right where I want you. Pretty nice. So I'm going to tape it up now. Give it a little bit of filler primer, you know, just to make the lacquer adhere correctly. Then retape it. Give it the black lacquer. And I'll show you a little piece of each piece. Peace. Got it taped up nice and good. Bring it outside and hit it with some filler primer. Make sure you tape, you know what I mean, nice and good. You don't want any of this shit getting on the neck, man. See you in a second. Now, you're going to want to wet sand it with a block. You know what I mean? And until all the, let's see if I can get in there. You can see a little line around where, you know what I mean, the line is. We don't want no lines on nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point of using the filler primer. You know what I mean? You don't want to see no lines. Alright, so let's keep on with our nose to the grind wheel. So we did about 2 coats. And now we pull back the tape and we just hit it up with a little tiny bit of nail polish remover. Sort of get all the weird stuff. Now remember, this filler primer is going to run underneath tape. It's a very intrusive paint, my people. So this is the point where we're going to want to give it a final sort of wet sand. Use a little bit of the block and a little bit of the fingers. Going up to like, I'd say about 1500 is good. So I'll see you once we're retaped, dipped. So now we got it retaped. Now when you're doing this, you know, primer lacquer thing, you're always going to want to leave, you know what I mean, space around the edge of the primer. Because when you sand it, you don't want to, you know what I mean, sand back, and I see some of that primer sticking out. We're just going to hit it up with this old guy right here. Little tiny old bit. Not too much, you know, we don't want to create extra lines. Make sure you don't, you know what I mean, screw it up. We ran a little bit of tape across this line here because we want to keep that little border too. So I'll see you on the flip. Peace. Big moment of truth, the untaping. See if that line came out, you know what I'm saying? This line, it's got to go all the way up, man. So if it doesn't come out, I'm going to be pretty upset. Let's put you on the pause. Oh, that's a nice pizza pie. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Came out perfecto. So let's sand this up. Still a little bit, you know what I mean? A little bit of leakage come on this side. A little unsmooth, and then we'll get this all yellowed out, man. So I want to put you on the pause when we get to our yellering station. Alright, so now we're going to yellow it up. Got a little bit of old acrylic paint. You know what I mean? Little pieces of a magic eraser. And my one video I showed you pretty much how to do the yellowing. This would be yellowing version 1, like a discount version. We're just gonna, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Yellow it up. And then we'll be back at you. You can't really see now, but that took all of like 3 seconds. It's perfect now. You know what I mean? The phone doesn't do it justice, man. Doesn't do it justice. But I mean, it's perfectly the same color. You can see a little bit of yellow paint there, but that'll go away. That'll go away, Git. So let's, we're not really going to tape it too much. We're going to hold it up to, you know what I mean, the old careful standards that we always do. And we're just going to go bring it out and hit it up with some clear. So let me tape it back up. I'll be right back at you. Alright, so we're going to go out and paint it. Now, we're just going to tape it a little bit because we don't want, you know, any lines at all. Feels like a natural sort of, you know what I mean, feathering technique. And we got it taped from here. Now, we're going to want to paint from this angle. You know what I'm saying, man? We're just going to use, I'll show you the paint. This guy right here. Same old clear, you know, same brand that we just used, the black. So, you know, we're to paint from this way so we don't get anything, you know what I mean, into this. See how there's like little, you know what I mean, little ways to get in there. We don't want anything on that fretboard, man. This is where the careful man comes in. So I'll see you in a minute. Yes, very nice and shiny. Very nice and shiny. Now, don't be worried about the overshine factor, folks. There's no lines. There's a smooth operation. Smooth operation. And we're just going to pull this tape back, you know what I mean, and give it a little bit of steel wool, you know what I'm saying, and sort of, you know what I'm saying, smooth it out. That's what we did. That old guitar Cousin Carl had, man. Cousin Carl's guitar was old as hell, man. Charlemagne had a poster of Cousin Carl on the side of his cave, man. So I'm going to put you on a pause, and I'll come right back after we take this tape off and steel wool it down the grade, brothers and sisters. Putin was drunk as hell, man. He started drinking some schnapps, man. He's jumping off his fucking bunk bed and shit. We all live in the yellow submarine. Fucking smashed out that fucking window and fucking all the frets came out. Little piece of binding. Now you would never know. That's for you, Putin. You know what I'm saying? We do live in the yellow submarine, bruh. Just be careful around them fucking windows, man. You know how them Soviets be cutting corners. Neck is done, bros. Brosettes. Let's focus our attention on the body. Brothers and sisters, this body is filthy fucking dirty, man. This is so dirty, man. I put this behind toilet in submarine. There's no place to have a guitar on submarine, especially guitar is symbol of capitalist scum pig. Not very popular in this spy group. So let's clean this motherfucker off. Now, I hate to get all Putin's DNA off this, so I'm going to go easy on cleaning this cavity. I'm going to leave some of that Soviet, you know what I mean? I'm going to leave some of that shit germinate, man. But on the outside, man, we're cleaning up with some old fake Windex, man, from the Dollar Tree. Man, I've had this bottle for 1,000 years. I was 7 years old when I got it, man, and it's still fucking totally full. So let's clean this off, man, and I want to talk about something else, man. I always got something to talk about. Yeah. Oh, nice shining now, my friend. Very shiny, nice guitar to sell to you. Now listen, the only security issue, the only flaw I could find in this that I want to really attend to, I mean, there's a lot of scuffs and banged up, you know, looking shit on it. It's been played, you know what I mean? It's been fucking beat up, man. You know what I'm saying? It's had the glass nose fucking beaten out of it, man. But this is like a veneer over like the birch. This is almost birch. It's half birch. See that? You know what I mean? It's like wood all, you know what I mean, veneered on top of. It's tricky Russian trick. And this is the only thing I want to, because that veneer is split right here. So I'm going to take like a little bead of old crazy glue. Just put a little bit of glue down there. Very light. I don't want to touch it all on here. I'm going to bring it outside and just put a little tiny little piece of Bondo on there you possibly get. I'm going to tape it off. You know what I mean? I'm going to tape it off. You know what I mean? And then I'm going to put a little tiny bit of like clear nail polish on top of that, man. Maybe some shellac. Haven't decided yet. It's right now. It was a nice day. Like I said, man, the tiniest dab will do you on that bonder. Red bonder, man. Alright, so let's let it dry. Uh-huh. Hey, boss. Yeah, it's me. Yeah, I got the rooski all laid up here on the table. Took care of that thing you wanted me to take care of. It's all sanded down now, flat. Wet sanded. Can't feel nothing. Uh-huh. Now what you want me to do with him? Mix up some of those acrylic paints. Try to match it up with the paint that's on there. Uh-huh. You're a sick motherfucker, boss, but you pay the big money. I'll play the game. I'll try it. What do you want me to use? Oh, like one of those wedge brushes? That's real thin like? Mm-hmm. I can do that, boss. We're on your tab. Alright, well, we'll be in touch when the deal is done. Uh-huh. Alright, boss. Take care. I'll get done with him. Bye. So this is kind of more of like a structural thing than a cosmetic thing, because this veneer was going to pop off, you know what I mean? And we just cosmetically, you know what I mean, hit our little, you know what I mean? Put a little bit of nitro lacquer, nail polish on top of it when we're, you know, about 79% dry. Kind of let that color, you know what I mean, mix a little bit with the lacquer. It's alright. Let's let it sit overnight. And we'll start working on the old electronicals. Alright, so it's been about a month since we unloaded that pick guard. Now it's been resting all by itself. All the way down below. Way under here. You see that little pick guard in there, man? There it is, man. Under a lot of weight, book-wise. At least backpack-wise. Let's get her out and take a look. Take a gander. Alright, nice and flat like. Still sheeny shiny. Nice. Alright, so I got all the screws and accoutrements sitting in a little pool. A little pool of WD-40. Doble de 40, as we say, down at the landscaping dock. So listen to me. This is a mess. It's ugly, it's dirty. Let's clean it off very gently with some mild, you know what I mean, like water and like a little rag. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go find the pictures I took on my old cell phone. You know what I'm saying? See if I can match them up. You know, I don't remember how it went. You know what I'm saying? I remember some of the screws were all fucked up. That was a long time ago, man. So I'm going to try to get this, you know, reloaded and cleaned up, and I'll see you back, you know what I mean? Back around the scoop. Alright, Sorge, let me take the camera for a minute. Let me take a little time. Everybody, this Vladimir Putin, here a special guest Guitkit friend, going to tell you a little bit about this guitar now. My English not too good, so please follow what I'm going to say. Going to replace the jack, very important. Now, in world of jack, there are two kind of jack, right? There's the long, regular switchcraft jack, and there's the little short arm jack. See how these little short guy? He's starting to sound like he's like a Mexican salesman at swap meet. But see how it is a little bit shorter? And I found that using this particular jack, see, I don't really want to have to drill into this. You know what I mean? I want it to fit, man. You know what I mean? And I found that by positioning this jack as such, you know what I mean, I'm able to sort of put it down flat, exactly flush. See that? Exactly flush. Put one of these little washers, you know what I mean, around her. You know what I'm saying? We'll call it a day. We'll call it a date. So let's solder that guy in. Like I said earlier, this is basically, it's 2 grounds and a hot coming out of this guy. You can see that this is the hot and the 2 grounds. Focus, man. Don't be silly. And then they come up here, right? And you can see it comes out here and there's the grounds. They split out of the grounds. You know what I'm saying? The grounds are blown out. Come on. Sorgi. And the white one's in the middle, man. So that's the hot. Some of the, you know what I mean? Solder it. We're going to, you know, try to see if we can do this thing. Peace be with you. Alright, so it works, man. Got soldered up. Took it over to the old amplifier. Plugged it in, made some sounds, tapped on it like I heard myself tapping on it. It's like all tapping madness, man. It's been forever. This guitar is about like 4 months ago, man. I ordered it like crazy mid-pandemic, man, when I was starting to grow a beard, man. So, anyway, this was the original pickguard screw. It's kind of like a Fender, you know, wood screw, you know, but it's got the oval head, and it's got the slot. You know what I'm saying? So I got a bunch of sheet metal screws in that exact same specification, and you know what I mean. We're gonna use them. So let's screw this guy in. Screw it up, man. Screw it down. Some new screws for you. Same look, different day. We're screwed up. Always wanted to be a screw up. Now I got screwed like everybody else. And look at what I do with the jack here. I took one of those Fender, you know what I mean, Telecaster socket jack. You know what I mean? Insert washers. So digging into that plastic. This ain't not going anywhere. Just fucking call me Thomas Edison, man. I'm a genius, man. I'm a fucking genius. So, what are we gonna do with these knobs, man? Let's talk about it, man. It's obvious. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna find 4 tops exactly like this, man. Maybe I will one day, but I got 4 knobs here that could be the same by doing this, taking this off, putting it in the cabinet. Look at that, 4 matching knobs. See, it's hard to sort of. I bought 3 different sets of knobs, sort of. You know what I mean? Try to get them on here, but they don't sit flush with the plastic, and they're kind of down real low. So you know, the set screws don't really like. You know what I mean? They're too high. So it's just, you know what I mean, a heartache. It's a heartache. So we're just gonna go with these, man. You know what I mean? It's be a little ugly. Yeah, but the Soviet guitar is meant to be ugly. You know what I mean? Fuck it. So let's talk about the other horse, man. With the tooth with no name, man. Look at this, man. That sucks, man. These are like blender knobs, man. Blender buttons, man. You know, I see them a lot of Japanese electronics from the 70s, man. You know what I'm saying? So where the fuck am I gonna get these? You know what I'm saying? Where am I to get one? Where am I to find one, people? Where am I going to find one? I got an old police scanner here that actually came with the house when I bought it 15 years ago. Look at that. Old realistic Radio Shack police scanner. Ain't one of these guys off there. I never use it. Probably never will. This guitar has a better chance of being used in this household. Look at that. Oh. Problem solved, and it looks great. Put those knobs on. Let's go clean up that neck a little bit, man. We got some things to talk about that neck, man. Let's go back to the neck.
There, I would just like to pass on a message on behalf of the men's movement that there's a product that is being used by the women that is a useful product that could be used by us men, and every man should have them and probably put them in their workshop because they are very useful. These I got at Forever 21. I actually found them in the, 99-cent bin. I was there with my daughters back in the old days, man. Back when things were regular, man. And it was, you know what I mean? They're just like a godsend, man. I don't know what the hell they're made out of. Some like special life formula for the ladies, man. Only the ladies know. It's like a real, like, sort of like, I don't know, man. It feels like kind of like rubber, but it's like a foam. So anyway, man, you know what? I wanted to touch this up because you know what I mean? I was pretty abusive toward it, you know what I mean? In the whole, you know what I'm saying? When I was trying to, shape that binding, you know what I mean? And I painted it and all that other stuff that we did back in the day. And I wanted to, you know what I mean? Just touch it up with my colonial friend here, you know what I mean? And these things just did the trick, man. I got stain all over my fingers, man. I'm not a dirty guy. I don't have jaundice. So, yeah, man. keep your eye out for these, you know what I mean? When you ever go to Forever 21 with your wife, and you have to wait, go check out them dollar bins in the corner there, man. There's some crazy shit the women are using, man. That's a Torunia moment. You must take these. We must take back the show. Because we have to go to the moon. We shall go to the moon. And we shall do it. Because it can be done. I say so. And we choose to do certain things because they are easy and not because they are hard. Now, I told you in the beginning of this video, man. These are going to be impossible to build. Possible to source. You know what I mean? Without spending an arm and a leg, man. You know what I mean? Look at this guy, man. He didn't have the string tree strung to nothing. Anyway, man. Not easy piece to find. But they do look kind of like, you know what I mean? Some of those import tuners that are real cheapy. Actually got like 3 sets of those kind of tuners here. And you can see the backs of the original ones. I have 4 of them. So I mean, that's, you know, does me no good. It does me no good at all, my friend. No good at all. Just 4. So this set actually, I took it out. I took these off of a like early 90s Korean Squire. It's got like a weird sort of thing. And you see they kind of look, you know what I'm saying? They kind of look pretty close, man. You know what I'm saying? I put that in there. We don't tell anybody. You Soviet bloc? You Soviet bloc? No? It's not, man. You know, since I've seen somebody do it, that's a little bit too easy. I want something a little harder than that. You know what I mean? So, what am I going to do, man? Now, in the Soviet Union, in the, 70s and 80s, there was like one set of like replacement tuners that you could buy, man. And it looked like this. That's what it looked like, man. You know what I mean? This is the set you buy. We have no other set. This is the only set we have. You get this, you take this, you use that. It's the only set we have. So, I mean, really, you could use these for anything. You'd be inline lefty, righty. You could just unscrew this little screw. And you could put the post going this way, that way. So, I mean, these were pretty universal. Very clever. You know what I mean? And this kind of, on the inside, is just like that, man. You know, a little bit different, looking. A little bit different area colors, but it's very, very similar. So I was thinking, why don't I do that? So it looks like it's replaced with a real Soviet part, and I'm not trying to cheeseburger my way out of anything, man. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ditch these. Stomped. These are stomped. They're made out of cheap metal. Look at stomped. This is cost. Stomp versus cost, people. One weighs a lot, and one is you could flatten it with your own hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew these, right? I'm going to paint these, silver. You know what I'm saying? So they match our imperial silver here, and put some of these cheesehead screws in the gear, as opposed to the Phillips, like we did for Cousin Carl. And we'll be well on our way to tricking it out. It looks like he's made with real Soviet part. And along with these tuners, I give you a real Soviet pencil. This is real pencil, number 7 lead. It's very safe pencil. It's made from same lead from the tank at Chernobyl. It's very safe. Just don't touch it to your face or let your children use it or go near your pet or anything. In fact, I put it over here because slightly radioactive. Don't want to destroy computer monitor. So we see you after we in process to try to get the silver and the gear. Peace to you, my friend. Man, all silvered up. Just used a little bit of old spray paint. I'm going to coat the back of them and give the front another coat. You know what I mean? Now, for those of you saying this is not very permanent, man, and it's going to look like shit after a couple of months, maybe you're right. But I reference you the trim plate. You know what I mean? This spray paint here is probably about as good as the Soviet chrome, man. Just take a good look at that Soviet chrome job, man. I might as well just repaint this, but I'm not going to. It's real Soviet part. It's real Soviet part. It's Soviet surplus for military guitar. You pay me. I give you reasonable price. It's $627. It's not big price. It's little price. Pay for Soviet part. Collector item. Never make these again. What? You don't want to pay $620? How about I throw in the special medal commemorate life of great Ho Chi Minh? Ho Chi Minh was a great communist man. I give you this medal too. It's a value of $9,000. So if for this and this is a good deal, $629 only. Oh, what, you want more? I give you this special Soviet mag light. This mag light is greatest mag light in the world. I carry this mag light myself on Soviet tank. I carry this with Putin. I was there. This Soviet part, all this together is only $625. Yeah, you know, yeah, I hook you up with special deal. Only $623 and $426 shipping. The shipping charge. I don't decide shipping charge. It's postal services decide shipping charge. You buy now, and you pay now too. It's Soviet part, real Soviet part. Peace to you. Peace be with you.
So now that we got those tuners on, let's go back to this body here, man. Let's get this tremolo bridge assembled. Now I got the bridge, you know, piece itself and the, you know what I mean, little screws soaked in some WD-40 over here. I got myself a new old spring. Nice tremolo spring. I got the case all ready here. Now this is the tremolo that I was coming with. Doesn't look like it's the correct one. You know what I mean? This is like, it looks like he made it himself out of like some kind of a motorcycle part. But if you look at this bridge piece here, I don't know if you can see it here. Looks like it'll take like a regular old Jazz Master tremolo. I don't know the way it's designed. And I have one of those, but I still have not opened for the Jazz Master that I built a year ago. And presented to you folks back in the old Guitkit times. You know what I mean? So I'll never use the tremolo on this one either. I might never even use this guitar after I play my little ridiculous song to you. Oh no, you might never see it again. So let's get this little trim thing all assembled, and I'll come right back at you, mans and manettes. Cool, man. Very cool. Very, very cool. Looks great. Looks nice. Spectacular. Let's put this neck back on, man, so we can continue our journey eastward. East to the peast. So dribs and drabs, folks. Dribs and drabs. So we got it back together. I screwed that little nut on there. It had like a special screw. Luckily survived the whole process so far, the procedure. So what are we going to do now, man? Let's talk about the bridge, man. Now, I bought all kinds of different bridges, actually. You know what I mean? Because of the pandemic, it took like, you know what I mean, 15 years for them all to come. And I pretty much found out that I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do, man. I wanted to modify like a Jazz Master bridge. Put it on some lifts and stuff. I just couldn't get the height right. It would, you know what I mean? My measurements with the yardstick, you know what I mean, kept coming up as like real high action. So what I've seen a lot really is like they just put like an ABR bridge in here, man. And I got an ABR bridge. I got these real big posts here. I'm going to put some gold posts in there just to be real gaudy, man. I have these left over from the Explorer anyway. And the thread matches this absolutely perfectly. So let's put that bridge on there, man. And I have a couple more little incidentals, man. And then we'll just, you know what I mean, home stretch, man. And I'll sit down and talk about it a little bit more. I'll play it, and you know what I mean, go back to bed. See you after I got this little bridge on here. Alright, man. We got the little posts in there, man. You know what I'm saying, man? We're using like a silver one with gold. Extra tacky. Plus, I've got one with large holes in there. So we can sort of, you know what I'm saying? Small hole one, for some reason, it was like a little tight, man. So I'm using a large hole one. Because it was like, you know, I couldn't get it on there, man. Struggling with it. So let's talk about the end pins, man. The strap buttons end pins, man. What am I talking about? As you know what I mean, I showed you before. It had like these like protruding, you know what I'm saying? And I got a set for my old grandpa Jim's. It's been his 100th year this year. I got some of his hardware, man. I got, you know what I mean, a nice old stock. Now the new ones, the screws that are made today, they're too big, man. They're the same exact screw, but these old Cold War era ones, you know what I'm saying? They go right through. The bigger ones, you know what I mean, kind of thing. But this is close enough, man. Close enough, man. Let's get them in there. God bless you. Happy birthday, Grandpa Jim. Hey. Alright. So we got them on there, man. Ain't no thing, man. Ain't no thing. One last thing before we, you know what I mean, adjourn to the groovy old things. This guy, man. I'm never gonna find one of those string trees, man. You know what I mean? That's just a rarity, man. Rare tie, rare tie. So I'm gonna use one of these guys, man. And I got one of these Cold War Grandpa Jim screws. You know what I'm saying? Put it in there, man. There it goes, man. I'm gonna put some carnauba wax on this boy, and then we're gonna put a little bit of that old mineral Ural on the rosewood there. You know what I'm saying? If it is rosewood. And then we're going to put strings on it, man. And then we're going to adjust the, you know what I mean? Adjustments. You know what I'm saying? And after that's done, we don't need it, you know, any access to that truss rod anymore. We'll put a little plate back on. And I'll, you know, just say, hey, man, this is Guitkit. Let me take another look at it. And then I'll play it for you. And we'll say peace be with you. So see you in the glam shots, folks. This President Putin here. I want to send special message to American comrade Bobby G for restoring my guitar. Thank you, my brother Bobby G. One day we take submarine ride together. Or maybe if you prefer, we go and ride Siberian tigers together. Or we hunt them together. But the important part is, bring my Russian guitar and I jam the shit out right in front of your eyes. You be fucking amazed the way Putin plays. Like fucking king. Look at that, man. What a great, great, great instrument, man. Now you'll notice on the front, man, it doesn't have that little metal nut anymore, man. I had to, you know what I mean? I had to 86 it. I had to take it off, man. I had to put this little, you know what I mean? Plastic nut on, man. It just wouldn't intonate, you know what I mean? This thing was just too high. And the strings weren't touching the 0 fret. You know what I'm saying? Goodbye, little metal thing. Homemade piece of shit. So here it is, man. The millions of buttons. Sort of figured it out. This is like to turn on this pickup, this pickup, this pickup, you know what I mean? And this on the bottom. I think it plays it in series, you know what I'm saying? You can play, it's weird, man. These are all different kind of tone knobs. Somewhere along the line, I decided I'm going to keep this on. This is the master, you know, the master volume knob. So, whatever the fuck. So let's listen to this, man. Been talking forever, you know, working forever on this guitar. It's time to liberate. It's time to listen to me. Peace be with us. Each and every time. His Russian guitar. His Soviet Supernova Ural 650. His many buttons. His guitar only properly played by one man. The special man is none other than Mr. Putin. The only Soviet man who ever could play the Ural 650 correctly. But alas, Mr. Putin lost his guitar on dangerous mission in submarine to Baltics. And his poor guitar floated away across the sea. It's been a long journey, folks, to Bobby G's hands. In honor of Dr. Putin, I'm going to play for you the last song that Putin ever played. That fateful evening. There's pain in my head, there's bugs in my bed, my pants are so old that they shine. Out on the street, I tell the people I meet to buy me a bottle of wine. A bottle of wine, fruit of the vine. When you gonna let me get sober? Leave me alone, let me go home. Let me go home and start over. Let me go home and start over. Putin, wash your hands, brother. Peace be with you. Ural 650. God bless you, man. I can't believe that we finally got all the parts and we got it working, man. It's went to 2. Peace be with you.